Yeah, dear Professor Lanzarat, dear members of the European Commission, dear Dr. Kritikos, I'm not sure that I'm pronouncing your name correctly. Dear colleagues, dear guests, dear students, it's a great pleasure to welcome you here at the University of Bonn. This is an important, I think, EU-funded project to integrate environmental and climate ethical considerations into research ethics. So you're struggling with the question, what is the role of researchers in institutions such as our university, in including ethical issues into research projects? Sustainability is an important part of our research strategy, university strategy. We have a vice rectorate for sustainability. We have a transdisciplinary research area on sustainability. Jan Berner is a speaker of this research area. So we, as a university, are engaging these questions. What is our ethical responsibility? Importantly, I think your projects include an intercultural perspective. I think that's very important with project partners in South Africa, Korea, and Japan. Also from my side, thank you for taking the long trip to come here. I think this is extremely important. The project also, as I saw from the notes, has a practical component, providing training materials for researchers and ethics committees. And so I think this research collaboration is supposed to become an important piece in the puzzle towards a new global lifestyle that may help us to prevent us from further destroying our planet. So I'm a neuroscientist trying to elucidate some aspects of our brain, of how our brain works. One thing that I find totally perplexing or troubling is that we are on one side incredibly smart and also incredibly stupid. We are not much smarter than other species. For example, birds can solve tasks, if you train them, that we find difficult to do. Yet we are the only species on this planet that can explain many aspects of why we exist at all. We basically understand how our body works. The greatest challenge is perhaps provided by the functioning of our brain. This is the aspects of our body that we understand the least. But if you go further, we understand actually of how our planet and also our solar system were formed. We understand how marvelous, how beautiful the laws of nature work. I'll give you an example. So we can burn carbohydrates into CO2 and water at room temperature. Okay, we do it at 36.5 degrees, but it also works at lower temperature. At the same time, we can walk and live in an atmosphere with 20% oxygen, and yet we're stable. There is no spontaneous self-combustion. And I'm not sure if you realize how delicately the laws of chemistry and physics have to be balanced to make this possible. Burn carbohydrates and yet be stable in this hostile environment. Or let's take our source of energy, the sun. Most, I think, clever scientists can probably come up with a set of natural laws, if you ask them, to allow for a sun to form and to burn for a few weeks, perhaps years. But to adjust the laws of nature such that the sun provides a constant flow of energy for billions of years, so that intelligent life can evolve on a nearby planet, is extraordinarily difficult, and yet it happened. So the fact that we exist, we are the luckiest people that you can imagine. It's a miracle that the laws of nature are so perfectly balanced that we exist at all. We are clever enough to understand all of this, and most of us will admire the beauty of nature, and you have shown the picture of Caspar David Friedrich. Yet, we are so stupid that we are about to destroy the very basic of our existence. And that is very puzzling. It's not that we don't know. Rudolf Clausius, one of the greatest physicists of our university, he developed the second law of thermodynamics. This is the only known law in physics, actually, that gives time a direction, and very important for the use of steam as a technology. And so Rudolf Clausius contributed actually to the use of steam engine as a physicist. And at the same time, he was very worried about the development, because he thought actually that burning these ancient sources of carbon would not be sustainable. And so he already warned in 1885 here in Bonn about the uncontrolled burning of ancient carbon deposits. And he advocated already at that time the use of energy, electricity from regenerative sources instead. We all know what is at stake, and yet we don't act upon this. I'm thus glad that you are committed to the task of hopefully changing our behavior, or contributing to change our behavior, of acting ethically and according to our responsibility for future generations. I thank you for this, and I wish you good success. Thank you.